Lamborghini Denver. My name is Dennis and I'm the certified Lamborghini specialist assigned to your 2018 Huracan Performante. Today we have a vehicle in for a 4-year service. We have a concern with the like a set of tires quoted for the vehicle. We'd like to have this factory brakes reinstalled, or brake pads anyway, reinstalled, and then a couple of software updates. One for the engine and then another one for the rear view camera and the instrument cluster. Let's go ahead and take a look at your vehicle here. Check tires and brakes for safety as we do with everything that comes in. Your front tires are getting low. That's probably why you had a request to do the price of tires. They're down around 4/32 of an inch on the front. Underneath, everything looks to be in good shape. Axle boot looks good on the inner, outer, and the inner way up in there. Steering rack boot looks good. Tie rod end looks to be in good shape here. Ball joint looks good. Upper ball joint looks to be good as well. And the struts are all nice and dry. Under shields are all nice and dry. Front differential here, everything looks good there. No oil or anything dripping as far as any of that goes. Right front, similar story. Ball joint looks good. Tie rod end looks to be in good shape. Upper ball joint looks good as well. Struts nice and dry. Steering rack boot looks to be in good shape as well as the inner and the outer axle boots. Moving towards the rear, your central tunnel here, everything is nice and dry as well there, which indicates there's no coolant leaks or anything of that nature. Everything looks good here. I have your new serpentine belt put on, which is part of the service. I'll show you the old one there on the bench when we get back up there. Several spots here that we drain the oil on. Everything is nice and dry. There's also a reservoir there that all looks good. Everything's dry there as well. Axle boot on the outer and the inner on the driver's side look good, as well as the ball joint and all your other suspension bushings. And again, the strut's nice and dry here. Strut on this side is also nice and dry. Everything looks good there. Axle boot on the outer and the inner is all good. And then the ball joint again looks good. And the transmission itself is all nice and dry. I know we did the service last visit. Tires on the rear are at 5/32 of an inch. Not much different than the front, just a little lower, about 5/32 of an inch there. As far as the service goes, I do have a pricing for your tires as well. Get those taken care of. I checked your factory brake pads. It looks like they went through some heat cycles too. All the white and discoloration. The front ones here, there's a lot of cracks and stuff on the surface of them. It's kind of hard to pick up here in the video. But the discoloration and a few other things with it. I don't encourage it. We do put these back on. I would say we need to replace them with new, only because you will have a lot of brake noise, I feel. If you're trying to mitigate that, brake noise certainly is a big deal. I would say that we just put new pads on there with new brake wear sensors and get that kind of all taken care of there. I did measure your brake rotors themselves. We're using my ProSec tool here. Everything looks good as far as all that goes. So I'd say we could start with just doing a set of pads. If you still have a lot of brake noise, then we can revisit maybe doing rotors. Got your brake fluid here for your service. Oil filter to be put in still. Spark plugs here. Here's the new ones. I don't have the old ones out yet. I need to get that taken care of, but that's what the new ones look like. And here's the old serpentine belt I took off. This is well worn, certainly, with the rubber. And living in the dry desert here kind of does a lot of stuff to that. Makes the rubber kind of deteriorate quickly, so nice that we get that replaced. These are your check sheets for your 4-year service, and then I've got the new cabin filter here to get in as well. So at this time, I'll get you back over to service advisor.